And now it's a pleasure to bring to the stage our featured guest this month, who is just a part-time visitor to Arizona, but I think he's going to spend more time here. He's fallen in love with this place. Please welcome, he's a music industry icon and executive, and he's the driving force behind, one of the driving forces behind the Mesa Music Festival. How about a big round of applause for my special guest, Mr. Matt Pinfield. Matt, come on out. Good to have you here, buddy.
Good to see you. Great to see you.
Man, the last time I saw you, you were on my TV, on VH1 and MTV and all that cool stuff, and now you're here at Mesa Morning Live. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I love Arizona. I love the Mesa Phoenix market. You know, I've been coming here for quite a long time. There was a radio station years ago in the 90s called KUKQ on AM, and my friend Jonathan L. ran the radio station. And the first time I came out, he had a 2-day festival that was sold out. And I was blown away that an AM radio station that was playing alternative rock could bring in that kind of crowd. And it was great. And I fell in love with the place immediately. Well, for all those reasons, the dry heat, Alice
the Scorpions,
Cooper,
yeah, Alice,
you know,
yeah, there you go.
Which is great because, you know, Mark McGrath, who you know, of course, from Sugar Ray and his TV shows that he's done, introduced me to Alice, and he didn't tell me Alice was around the corner at one of the venues here, and he went, "Hey, Matt, I got somebody I want you to meet." And I went around the corner, and there was Alice. I'm like, "Alice, I've had 100 questions I wanted to ask you for years." So then he was nice enough to invite me down to Cooperstown, and his wife and daughter, you know, bought me lunch, gave me like a School's Out, a $1 Billion Babies t-shirt, you know, all the classic Alice stuff. But I love it here, I really do. I think Mesa's a really gorgeous, beautiful area here. And
now, where's home for you? New Jersey?
Yeah, for the moment. I mean, you know.
What do you?
Can I be honest with you? You know, because I just recently did a guest spot in the morning show on 93.3, Alt AZ here in, you know, in Phoenix, and I could live out here. At least, you know what? You know, my ideal situation would be live here 2 weeks of the month and do a radio show here, but then do it from New York because you can do anything remotely. Like I have a syndicated radio show called Flashback. It's a classic rock history show, and it's on 152 FM stations. Wow. It's on KLOS in Los Angeles, KSAN in San Francisco. So it's on a lot of West Coast radio stations. It's all over North America. But you can do that anywhere. I mean, wherever I go, I do it. You know, I was actually here in town doing an interview with the surviving Leonard Skinner members to do a anniversary concert special on their first 2 albums. So that's a good thing about radio and TV now. You can really do anything remotely.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, we're glad you're here in Mesa. I know the big Mesa Music Festival kicks off tonight. So tell us what's going on and what we can expect. And thanks for all. By the way, everybody got one of these. And in the front, if you didn't see it, there's a little voucher coupon for free Rubios. Rubios is obviously a sponsor?
Yeah. Oh, we love Rubios.
Oh, yeah.
Me and
awesome.
Joseph Anteo, who is the guy who organized and started the Mesa Music Festival. You know, he and I have been close for years. We've been big advocates of music in New Jersey. He started the Jersey Shore Music Festival. He loves Mesa. He's done some charity stuff here and fell in love with the area and decided to do it. And so since I've been coming here for a long time, I thought I'd come out and hang out and be a part of this and help out getting things kicked off.
That's awesome.
Which is really great.
Well, I know Indian's here. He was here with us last month. Where is the festival?
The festival takes place literally in the center of town. I mean, tonight, my keynote will take place at the Mesa Marriott, about 8:15. And then there'll be a VIP party afterwards. But most of what's happening is going on down off, what road is it? Country Club? And what was the other road? Excuse me? Main Street. Well, it should be Main Street, of course. Main Street, Mesa. There's a bunch of venues. There's 2 outdoor stages as well. And there's 250 emerging artists, as well as local artists like Authority Zero, who have already been nationally popular from here. So, you know, it's going to be a great experience. I'm looking forward to it. And, you know, for me, coming to the Phoenix Mesa area, I've been coming here for festivals. I hosted 2 of the Edge Fests years ago. And I've even sung on a stage here. Kid Rock, when he had Joe C., the little guy, in his band. And when he was sick before he sadly passed away, it was a tragic thing. He was not there, so Kid Rock goes to me, "Why don't you fill in and do his raps?" So I went up on stage here and did the songs with him, which was fun. I mean, we had a great time. But I have nothing but great memories of the area.
That's
really
awesome.
do.
And everybody gets one of these lanyards with the VIP. Everybody's a VIP here?
Well, not really. I think that's more for, like, tonight's after party.
Okay, cool.
Because we have Brett Scallions from Pinfield performing, and it's a great opportunity for the artists and the other people that are involved in the town and in the businesses and who live here to come out and hang with everybody.
You mentioned you're syndicated on a lot of stations. What has satellite radio done to the music industry?
Well, I'm on satellite radio too. I'm on every day on Sirius XM Lithium 34, which is a 90s alternative station that, with a lot of the bands that I'd started out and helped out and worked with the first time around in the 90s, like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Radiohead, Nine Inch Nails, all these bands. So, what satellite radio has actually been helping the industry a lot. I mean, I still love and believe in terrestrial radio, which is why, I was on today doing the morning show on 93.3, which I love that station, Alt AZ. But, I think what it has done is it's become a new national platform. Because when MTV, where I worked for years, gave up music as a focus, there really was nothing other than syndicated radio shows, no matter what format, country, top 40, whether it, or urban, rock. So the thing that Sirius XM has been able to do is to be available nationally, so people can get it anywhere in North America. So it has helped quite a few artists break, and they've worked to break artists where they're not waiting a lot of times to see who's going to play it first. You know what I mean? So, but you have great radio in the Phoenix Mesa market. You have really great stations.
Really do.
So yeah.
Well, here's maybe a question that you haven't heard in a while. You've probably interviewed thousands of musicians. Is there anyone that stands out that kind of took you by surprise, kind of blew you away, that maybe after you interviewed them, you went, wow, now I'm a bigger fan of that person?
There have been many over the years. I've been so blessed. 2 years ago, I interviewed Paul McCartney. I got a phone call from Paul.
He's had a pretty good career.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty popular guy. Yeah. I think he's pretty important in the history of pop culture. Yeah, Paul, I got asked to do his terrestrial radio, meaning like regular FM stations, launch of his album New, and we had a great time. And he was so warm and forthcoming. I'd only met him once before, because in '99 he threw a party to celebrate Buddy Holly's birthday, because he owns a publishing for Buddy Holly, and he was such a nice guy then too, but I saw, people that are uncomfortable around him. He's probably got that radar where if they're kind of walking up to him, they don't know what to say, he'll probably say hello and walk right by them. So a friend of mine, Bill Flanagan, who you might see sometimes on CBS This Morning on Sundays, said, Matt, go say hi to, and this is '99, because I did the new album 2 years ago. He goes, Matt, go say hi to Paul. I'm like, man, I don't know. I interviewed thousands of people. I go, because I just saw him kind of blow this guy off. He goes, no, he knows who you are. So I went up and I talked to Paul for a while that day. And I also met Buddy Holly's widow there, Maria Elena and Dion. They were there together. It was such a cool day, but Paul was really warm. And I remember saying to him, because I thought it took, it was something that people would say is, it takes a lot of nerve to say, but I said, Paul, when I was growing up and you were doing solo stuff for Wings, you took a lot of heat from the critics. But I said, anybody who can write a song as beautiful as Yesterday and Here, There, and Everywhere, or as rock as Helter Skelter and I'm Down, I go, Paul, no one's got nothing on you. And he looks at me and goes, are you gonna come to my new record release? And I said, yes, of course. I was lying. I was moving to LA to do a new TV show. I didn't want to say, no, Paul, I'm not gonna be there. You know what I mean? I just couldn't, I didn't want to go there. But the wonderful thing about the interview I did with him, about a year and a half ago was he said, we talked for a long time, and the person at NPR, because I was on the board of governors of the Grammys and the Recording Academy. I was elected. I'm been one of the governors for the Grammys. And our Grammy offices are in that office across from Bryant Park in New York City, and NPR is right under it. So they timed it so he could go do Howard Stern at Sirius, and then come do NPR, All Things Considered, and then rented a studio so that I could do my special with him there. And the beautiful thing about Paul was, I'm telling him how, my introduction to my daughter's music was the Beatles. And a person from NPR looks at him and goes, "Do you ever get tired of hearing that?" And Paul goes, "No, I never get tired of hearing that," which I love because he really appreciates that. So we had such a great time that at the end of it, he said to me, "Look, if it wasn't my wedding anniversary to Nancy, you and I'd go to a pub and continue our conversation about music." And the woman who's worked with him for 7 years goes, "Matt, in 7 years of taking Paul around, I've never heard him once say, 'Hey, Matt, did you get everything you need?'" Like, he was so wonderful and forthcoming. I was blown away by that.
Wow. I was going to talk to Paul McCartney once too, but he has really good security.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I mean? He definitely does. You know, I've interviewed all the Rolling Stones, you know, Townsend of The Who, the guys, surviving members of Led Zeppelin. I mean, you name, and of course I've done many radio specials and TV things with U2. I traveled to Brazil with U2. So I just, you know, I mean, I consider myself very blessed to work in a field that I loved from the time I was a kid. And, you know, there wasn't that access when I was a kid growing up. So it was all a dream. You know, you had the album covers, the magazines, you know, Don Kirshner's rock concert and the Midnight Special, you know, like certain shows in concert. That's what you had. And you looked at the album covers or, you looked at the magazines. So it's been an incredible ride for me, and I consider myself very blessed.
I'm sure that every now and then you have to pinch yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
every day I go, what am I doing? Yeah, I do.
Like now?
Like right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm hanging out with you, Mark. You're awesome. You are awesome.
This guy's good.
No, we have a good time.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? You're a music lover, and you know what's going on. Anybody we should kind of keep our eyes on the horizon that you think's about ready to?
You know, there's so many people that I love. I think I'm really happy that this young lady, Elle King, is blowing up right now. She has this song called X's and O's and America's Sweetheart. I introduced her in someone's living room to perform one day. She was in the living room of my friend who was programming VH1. And he would have people come out there and play, and Elle King came in. And then he introduced her again at South by Southwest for a YouTube stream. And her dad is Rob Schneider, the actor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, you can do it. You know, all the Adam Sandler movies. That's her dad. Her mom is really sweet. And she's blown up, but she's great. She's got this really classic voice that, you know, works on pop radio, alternative, it could be country, and I love her. I love a rock band from England called Royal Blood, who, you know, Howard Stern has been raving about. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin wrote a whole thing about how great they are. You know, Lars and the guys from Metallica, and Foo Fighters took them out to open their tour around the world. Wow. There are two guys from Brighton Beach, England, and it's a bass player and a drummer, but he plays through these pedals, so it sounds like a six-piece band, and they're incredible. So yeah, Royal Blood is a band I recommend.
You know who we're all big fans of is, have you heard of this Evan Berg guy?
Oh yeah, he's really good, yeah. I like Evan, yeah. Yeah, he's really good. He is, right? I heard him outside playing, and I heard him playing up here with you. He's great.
That's awesome. We're great. Well, give us I know you're busy. I know you've got to go from here and go somewhere else. Give us a inside baseball kind of story. Any good scoop that I'm really throwing you a curveball.
You know, it's really funny. I was on the radio this morning on 93.3, and I was telling the story about, you know, for those folks who know Chris Cornell, he's a great singer. He's in the band Soundgarden. He was in Audio Slave. He had a hit out with Zac Brown band called Heavy Is the Head. Now, Chris Cornell is known as one of the greatest rock singers, and I agree because he and I are very close friends, but he's got an incredible voice. And how he taught himself to sing was his next door neighbors, when he was a kid, moved out and left every Beatles album in the basement. And there was like, you could go in the back door. It was one of those kind of basements. So he snuck down there. He's like, 10 years old. And there's all these Beatles records, and he's looking around. No one's here. They moved. There's nothing else there. I'm taking these. So he takes them home. And how he taught himself to sing was he sang a fourth harmony. Like usually you would sing with John, Paul, or George, because that incredible three-part harmony that made the Beatles so special. But what he did was he taught himself to sing by adding another octave and singing over those Beatles records. And that's how he learned how to sing, and he's just one of the greatest singers. I mean, and written so many great songs that have been covered by everybody from Johnny Cash to who knows.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, so that's a pretty interesting story, I thought.
That's very cool. That's
Self-taught.
I sang a lot like Ringo.
Did you?
That's
Is that why they only let you have one song on each album?
exactly. I've been banned from karaoke bars.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you coming by. We appreciate you bringing this, being involved in bringing this music festival to Mesa. I think it's going to be a great thing for the economy, a great thing for music. And if you don't love music, folks, seriously, what's going on?
Yeah. I always say that. You know, I remember there was an actor on MASH. I'm not going to say which one it was, but I remember that TV show MASH, and I saw him being interviewed as a kid, and he goes, I don't like music at all. And I went, yeah, really? Because I don't know if I like you anymore. Yeah. You know, like, how can you not love music? It is, you know, it's the universal language.
It's the soundtrack of your life.
It is. It's the most important thing.
I heard a quote years ago, and I subscribe to it. It says, the more you like music, the more music you like.
It's
I
true.
try and like all genres because I think it just makes you a better, well-rounded person.
It does. I mean, I love some music in every genre. I will give everything a chance. I always have. I mean, when I was growing up, AM radio played everything. It played soul. It played country. It played pop. It played hard rock songs. And even, you know, top 40 in that period of time. It's funny because Sirius XM 70s on 7 on the weekends, it'll replay for that week the Casey Kasem countdown from one of the years in the 70s. And it's so cool to hear. And I'm like, wow, listen how cool, listen to that variety of things that are on there. So yeah, for me, I feel the same way. I never get stuck into one thing. I think you're limiting yourself and your chance to enjoy and discover.
Exactly. I love listening to the 70s music because I just forgot so much of the 70s.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't even there.
80s.
That's all. Well, hey, I know you fly into Arizona. Are you driving a car?
I'm driving with Joseph Fonteo here, and I actually have a woman that I'm seeing here in the area as well. So, yeah, I know, yeah. So she's been
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was talking about moving here half a month. So
Here's how you got to impress her, okay?
Yeah.
Say, honey, I know you're busy. Let me take your car. She's got a car.
Yeah.
Let me take your car and go get it detailed.
Yeah.
Big bonus points for that.
Okay.
And it's all due to Cobblestone Auto Spa. They would like to give you, as being our special guest, a $100 detail gift card.
Oh, that'd be great.
To Cobblestone.
I'm gonna definitely give this to her.
Oh, yeah.
Till I move out, and then I'll ask for another one.
Yeah.
There we go. Which is great. Thank you.
There's cobblestones
you
all
so
over the
much,
valley.
guys. Yeah, it's great.
You go in there, and not just, you got greeting cards. They got everything you need in that one place. You can eat pizza.
Yeah.
You can get LASIK surgery.
Yeah. I'm starting to need that, by the way.
You can get your teeth cleaned.
And I need too.
Everything in that Cobblestone. So
Too much coffee, but you know.
Thanks for being there. Everybody get out and see the Mesa Music. You know what? This is the first year we're going to do this, but it's going to get bigger and better. And all because of Indian, Matt Pinfield, and all your team. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mark. Really, it's a pleasure.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. Really love seeing you. Thank you to everybody at Mesa here. It's been so good. So nice.